गुरवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, you are all welcome for evening Bhagavad Gita class at Sri Krishna Balaram Mandir ISKCON Vrindavan. We are reading from chapter 16, Deva Asura Vibhaga Yoga, divine and demonic qualities. And we are in this section in which how can one get free from demonic nature. And the verse for us today is 22nd. So from verse 21st, in this section, it is advised that Krishna is giving us opportunity that how can we get free from the demonic mentality. So the root cause of demonic mentality is, what is the root cause of demonic mentality? Verse number 21. Kam, krodha, lobha, naraka dwaram. Kama, krodha and lobha. So basically these three appears to be separate, but they are one. When you have calm, if it is fulfilled, you will develop greed, lobha. If it is not fulfilled, then you will become angry. So only this one calm, if it is fulfilled, then you become greedy. If not fulfilled, you become angry. So they are the two corollaries of the actually calm. Generally, this krodha is called Kamanuj. Kam Anuj means follower of calm. If calm is not fulfilled, then you become angry. So these are the three doors leading to hell. Now this verse, which we will discuss today, it says, Etera vimuktaihi kaunteya tamo dvarai stribhir naraha acharatyatmanah shreya tato yanti param gatim. Etera vimukta kaunteya tamo dvare kshatribhir naraha acharatyatmanah shreya tato yati param gatim. एतेर विमुक्त कौन्तेय तमो द्वारे त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो यान्ति परां गतिम्। एतेर विमुक्त कौन्तेय द्वारे त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो यान्ति परां गतिम्। एतेन विमुक्त कौन्तेय तमो द्वारे त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो यान्ति परां गतिम्। एतेन विमुक्त कौन्तेय तमो द्वारे त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो यान्ति परां गतिम्। एतेन विमुक्त कौन्तेय तमो द्वारे त्रिभिर्नरः आत्मनेह ततो यान्ति परमां गतिम्। एतैर्मुक्तैष कौन्तेय तमो द्वारे त्रिभिर्नरः आचरतात्मनः श्रेयः ततो यान्ति परां गतिम्। एतैर्विमुक्तैष कौन्तेय त्रिभिर्नरः आचरतात्मनः श्रेयः ततो यान्ति परां गतिम्। एते विमुक्ते कौन्तेय, कौन्तेय Arjun. Ete means from all these three. Vimukte means to become free. If you, so Srila Prabhupada writes, Ete means from these, Vimukta being liberated. Kaunte or son of Kunti, Tamhat Dwarai, from the gates of the ignorance. Tama also means hell, and Tama means ignorance. Naraha, any person. Acharati, performing, practicing. Atmanaha, for the self. Shreya, benediction. Tataha, thereafter, Yati, he goes, Param, to the supreme Gatim, destination. So, Krishna is a loving father for both the people having a demonic mentality and the people having a divine mentality. After all, he is father for both. So he is giving the best advice that better to get liberated from these three gates leading to the ignorance or hell. So this is something to be free from the bad influence. But what is the good thing we should do? Acharata Atmana Shreyas. Acharata Atmana Shreyas means we should do something beneficial for soul. Something beneficial for soul. Generally people are doing something That is called Priyas, not Shriyas. Priyas means temporary benefit, and Shriyas means long-term benefit. Priyas means what I want. Shriyas means what scripture advice. So throughout Bhagavad Gita or throughout Vedic literature, the best path is Shriyas, and we have to give up the path of Priyas. Priyas is the path of senses, just for sense enjoyment, temporary. And Shreyas is a path of actually austerity, a path of, say, Atma Acharata. Acharan means activities, and Atmana means for the benefit of the soul. And what is the result? The result is Yanti Param Gatim. The person will go to the supreme destination. So Srila Prabhupada's translation, the man who has escaped these three gates of hell, one who has escaped these three gates of hell, Kama, Krodha, Lobh, lust, anger, and greed. The example of these three in the past time in Bhagavatam, Hiranyakashipu, Ravan, and Shishupal. So actually, Lord sent these three his own associates to act as demon. One is lusty, other is greedy, and third one is krodhi or angry. So they are the example, and what is their ultimate fate? All they are destroyed. So powerful they were, but they were destroyed. So what they did was the demonic mentality. Before we go further, I think this tomorrow's verse which will make it clear. What is the criteria that somebody is demonic in nature and somebody is divine in nature? What is the criteria? What is the kasoti or a test? Opposing God means opposing the rules and regulation of God. So this is the question which will continue for tomorrow's class also. So I think this is very important for us. It's not that demon has a horns and red eyes and looks horrible. No, it's a mentality. Demonic is a mentality. And the criteria is next verse in Bhagavad Gita. Ye shastram vidhim utsarjaya yajanti kamakarah. Those who give up the rules and regulation of scripture, they are demon. And those who follow the rules and regulation of scripture, they are divine. So the criteria is scripture, following the scripture, rules of scripture. Now how do you think how many people are actually following the scripture and rules and regulation of scripture? Very less, right? So many people are demonic by nature. And which is Shastra? If somebody asks Shastra, then Gita, and in Gita, it is written in Gita, Gita Shastram idam ye pathe priyata puman. Gita is a Shastra. Ye to dharmamitam Shastram. So this Gita is Shastra. And what is the meaning of Shastra generally? Shastra, Shastra, Sasan, Shishya. Shish means disciple. Sasan means governance. Shastra means weapon. And Shastra means scripture. All has one function: to regulate and discipline the people. Disciple means to be regulated. Why weapons are there? To make people follow the rules and regulation, not become violent. The government is for making people follow the rules and regulation, and that is the same function of a Shastra. So this word is coming from where, say, one root. So Shastra means law given by God. And those who follow that, they are of divine nature. And those who don't follow is called people following the demonic nature. This is one criteria. Generally, the other criteria is those who are in a mode of goodness. They are of divine nature. But the people who are in mode of passion, they are demonic, and mode of ignorance, they are Rakshasas. This is also another criteria. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, this Krishna conscious movement is established to bring the people to mode of goodness. At least they should have the divine qualities. Then they can advance further. And the third criteria is in a Padma Purana. Vishnu Bhakta Asura Tad Vipriya Asura. Asura Vipra, Tad Vipriya Asura. Those who are the devotees of Vishnu, they are demigods, are Sura, are having a divine qualities. And those who are against that, they are Asura, Tad Vipriya. Now, based on that, how many people are Vishnu Bhakta or Vaishnava? Very few. They are endowed with divine qualities. And there's a good verse from Bhagavatam. Yasyasi bhakti bhagavati akinchana sarve gunai samasate sura. So simply by doing bhakti or the becoming Vaishnava, all the good qualities of the divine will automatically come. So very simple. Just become a devotee of Vishnu, Krishna. Become a Vaishnava, then it's a divine. There are many devotees of demigods. Ravan was the big devotee of Lord Shiva. But he was demon. So they are devotees of the demigods, but still they are demonic. So these three criteria at least, there may be many more if you find. So to whom we should say he is demon? Demon means demon in nature, demonic nature and divine nature. And actually in the verses in the first and second, third verse, Abhijayate Pandav. The word is Abhijayate, means these are by birth. Abhijayate means birth. Therefore, in Pancham, Prabhupada writes particularly when we have a match of a boy and girl for marriage, he said, match that if he is a demonic nature or divine nature. If they are both, one is demonic, other is divine, then they will never match. So, it means Abhijayate means these natures are coming from past lives. How they are coming from past lives? How they are coming from past lives? They are impressions. Actually is a nature, demonic nature, divine nature. Nature means subhav, and subhav is actually governed by three modes of material nature. Our nature is governed by three modes of material nature, and they exert their influence on subtle body, the mind, intelligence, false ego, and polluted consciousness. And this subtle body continue with us. The soul goes from one grass body to the other grass body through the medium of subtle body, mind. So our nature goes with us from one body to other body. So one is born with same nature which he has in last life. Is it clear? How the nature continue from birth? Because our nature is in the subtle body, and subtle body is same. Therefore nature continues. So some people are by nature angry. Some people are by nature greedy. Some people are by nature lusty. Because this is their nature. And it's coming with their birth. Therefore it says vimuktes. It means you have to make endeavor to be free from that. You have to make endeavor to be liberated from that. So how one can be liberated from that? Anybody have some idea how somebody can be liberated from this demonic nature? How can we change our nature or subhav? Yes? By chanting holy name. Yes. How can we get holy name? By association with devotees. Because as the association you keep, that will be your nature. This is most important. It's only, therefore this society is created, Srila Prabhupada said, to give association to the people that they try to change their old habits, old nature. So most important is association. Is it okay? Now we are just continuing further reading Srila Prabhupada's translation. One should ask, the man who has escaped vimuktaha, escaped vimuktaha, these three gates of hell, lust, anger and greed. O son of Kunti, perform acts conducive to self-realization. What actually this means? Then you go to the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. To escape three things, what are these three things? Kam, Krodha, Lobha, lust, anger, greed. Now first go to the 3rd chapter. What is the cause of sinful activities? Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajogun, Samudra. Okay? So Rajogun is a mode of material nature that form our nature, and we act with lusty desire, and when they are not fulfilled, it becomes anger. Okay? So what will do? Sinful activity, right? So this sinful activity is cause of this going to the hell. So 7th chapter says, Yesham antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandanmo nirmukta bhajante mam dridvrta. Once when somebody is freed from sinful activities, then he can practice. So this verse says, when he escaped from the three gates, then he can practice the self-realization. Is it very clear? Until unless one is not free from the tendency of doing sinful activities. And how one does some sinful activities? Under the influence of mode of passion. Then he will have a desire. And that desire, when, so these are, otherwise this is what is called actually suffering. suffering. The parampara of suffering is ignorance, leads to sinful desires, leads to sinful action, leads to suffering. So suffering is, the root cause of suffering is ignorance. And these three gates are ignorance. So ignorance has to be removed. How the ignorance can be removed? By jnana, knowledge. By enlightenment. And enlightenment, and how can one get enlightenment? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Go to the bona fide spiritual master. Have a transcendental inquiries. Ask and render service. Then you will be enlightened and free from ignorance. Because the three things, if there are three things, we will never get knowledge. It means we will remain ignorant. What are these three things in 4th chapter? Agya, Ashardadhana, and Sankshayatma Vinashyati. Three things. Ignorant, faithless, and doubtful. They can never get enlightenment or knowledge. So what I'm saying is, because this Bhagavad Gita is repeatedly being discussed in these classes, so it is better that we should apply this verse forward and backward in Bhagavad Gita and try to understand actually the meaning of this verse. So Srila Prabhupada is writing, when some escape these gates, then he can perform activity of self-realization, which means antagatam papam jaranam punya karma. And thus gradually, it's not all of a sudden, thus gradually attain the supreme destination. What is supreme destination is not described. Supreme destination now, it's just a vague term. At least he will be freed from going to hell. He can go to the Punya Loka, maybe nice, to the heavenly planet. Even that is better than going to hell. It depends upon his practice. It is not giving a clear indication which is parama gati. Gati means destination. He get higher destination. Now Srila Prabhupada's purport. One should be very careful of these three enemies to human life. What Srila Prabhupada has used the word enemy. Why Prabhupada used this word enemy in the purport? These three enemies. And then Srila Prabhupada writes, lust, anger and greed. These are three enemies. So from where Srila Prabhupada has used this word enemy? 3rd chapter. Tahan, Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajogursa, Mahashano, Mahapama, Vidyaiya, Verina. Know that they are your enemies. So when Srila Prabhupada is writing the word enemy, this is the verse which is in Srila Prabhupada's in subconsciousness. They are enemies. When we say they are enemies, then we should know where these our enemies are residing. What is the place where these enemies take these strategic positions? Mind, intelligence, and manaha, buddhi, indriya, asya, adhishtana, uchyate. So these three enemies, where are they? In our mind, in our intelligence, in our senses. They have occupied these three most important strategic positions. Now I am asking you a simple question. Then Krishna give advice from where we should start. We know enemy is sitting within us. We have to get rid of the enemy. So from where we should start? Mind, intelligence, or senses? Huh? Yes, make sure. Senses are grass that we can check easily. Mind we cannot control. But senses, my legs, I want to come to temple, I can. If I want, I can go to the liquor shop, or I can come to the temple. Senses are at least under my control. Ado indriya sanyama. So in the beginning, control your senses by regulative devotional service. So begin with senses. Is it okay? So these three are the enemies, Prabhupada writes. The more the person is freed from lust, anger and greed, the more his existence becomes pure. What is existence? His existence becomes pure. What is existence? And how it is impure and how it becomes pure. The word for existence in scripture is Sattvam Shuddhyeta. Sattvam Shuddhyeta. Sattvam means existence. Shuddhyeta means purified. And what is where is this word in scripture? Five, 1. 5th canto, 5th chapter, verse number 1. Nayam deho bhagan. This satyam cha shuddhyeta. Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shuddhyeta brahma sukhyam anantam. So this is sattvam. Existence means sattvam. Existence means sattvam shuddhyeta. This word is at one other place where it is which tapasya we should do that our existence should be purified. Which tapasya we should do? Huh? Tapodivyam. Tapodivyam means that penance which bring us near to Krishna and association of Krishna. But there's another very nice verse in which the same word is there. And this verse is 10th canto, 7th chapter, verse number 1st and 2nd. 10, 7, 1, 2. 1, 2. Verse number 1 and 2. Parikshat vacha avatarani katha. One who hears the Krishna katha, then he has 7 benefits. Karana, ear, ramyani, ears, it is pleasing to ear. Manovigyani, mind become attracted to Krishna. Then aratir vinashyati, which attraction we don't have for Krishna, it increases. And vitrashana, and outside, mind going outside is stopped. And then the next word is satyam cha suddhyeta. Existence is purified. And then harau bhakti, then the love for Krishna manifests. And then the criteria for that is tada purushe sakhyam. Then we will develop friendship with the devotees. If we have really good friendship with devotees, it means he is at least bhakta, which is madhyam adhikari. He is now madhyam adhikari because he have a friendship with the devotees. He is above Kanishta level. So how? By simply hearing Krishna Katha. By simply hearing Krishna Katha. So how the existence will be purified? Prabhupada writes, as we give up these, gradually our existence is purified. So what is the existence now? Existence is subtle body. Our existence is subtle body, mind, intelligence, false ego and polluted consciousness. And it is polluted by what? 3 modes of material nature. And how it will be purified? When we become free from 3 modes of material nature. And what is the procedure to become free from 3 modes of material nature? Yes, with this verse from 14th chapter. Ave vicharena bhakti yogena sagunan samataitan brahma bhuya yakalpate. Now that word Brahm in Brahm bhuya yakalpate, same Brahm is, word is Brahma Sokhyam Anantam. And then we become really happy. Then Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter. Brahma bhuta prasanna atmana sochati na panchati. So this is the Brahma stage. It means when the existence is purified, we will come to the stage of Brahma bhuta. And that is called self-realization, which is in this world. Atma Shriya. Acharate Atma Shriya. Acharate Atma Shriya means they practice devotional service, and which leads to purification of existence, which means he attained the stage of Brahma bhuta. Is it? You understand how it is logical? Now Srila Prabhupada writes, if existence become pure, what is the other way to really purify our existence? How to purify consciousness? So, what I'm not discussing today, the mind is of two types. We have the mind attached to the matter and mind attached to Krishna. Polluted mind is attached to the sense enjoyment. Pure mind is attached to Krishna Padarveda. Intelligence is of two types. Polluted intelligence is Puranjan Buddhi. That intelligence which is enjoying in the body. And pure intelligence is called Sati Mati Mukande. That intelligence which is attached to the Mukanda is a chaste. Similarly, there is a false ego and true ego. False ego is the I am master of this body. True ego is I am servant of Krishna. Similarly, there is a polluted consciousness, bodily consciousness, and pure consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So this is called Sattvam Suddhiyata. What is the other method? One method I told you, that two methods we have discussed. Tapodivyam. What tapasya we should do? We should hear Krishna Katha. What is the other method which everybody knows? Everybody knows this verse. How to purify our... Huh? I don't remember this, but this is very simple. Everybody knows Cheto Darpan Marjanam. Cheto Darpan Marjanam, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. By chanting holy name, our inner consciousness is pure, and mirror of the heart is purified. This is subtle body. This is Sattam Suddhit. So we have now at least 2-3 things by which we can purify our existence and become free gradually from these 3 enemies. Which are the 3 enemies? Lust, anger, and greed. Okay. Then he can follow the rules and regulations enjoined in the Vedic literature. It means first he should be free from the 3. First he should purify his existence. Then he should follow the rules and regulations of the scripture. By following the regulatory principle of human life, not of devotional service. Rules and regulation of human life. One gradually rises himself to the platform of spiritual realization. It is more or less vague term actually. By following the rules and regulation of human life. So what is the rules and regulation for human life? Rules and regulation for human life is? Haji? Sorry? 4 regulative principles, yes. Okay, rules and regulation of our human life. There's a one rule and one regulation for the human life, all the human. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. The rule is always remember Krishna and regulation is never forget. This is for all humanity, very simple rules and regulation. Satatam samartera Vishnu. Never forget is regulation. This is the rules and regulation for human society in the scripture. Right? And this is actually the rules and regulation of sadhan bhakti. This is the basic point of sadhan bhakti. Follow the rules and regulation of scripture means Vaidhi sadhan bhakti. It means to practice Vaidhi sadhan bhakti. And then what will happen? We will come to the realization of the soul, the nature of the soul. Okay, now Srila Prabhupada writes, if one is so fortunate, what it means, one is so fortunate. If one is so fortunate, what Prabhupada meant by that? If he get association of a pure devotee. This is the definition of for somebody to be fortunate. The disciple asked Prabhupada, we are very fortunate. Prabhupada said, no, I made your fortune. So, when Prabhupada is writing this word, it means when somebody get association of a pure devotee, then he is considered he is fortunate. And this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, only rare thing in this world, and one person who is fortunate is one who has the association of a devotee association. So, if one is so fortunate by such practice under the guidance of a devotee, this is implied. To rise to the platform of Krishna consciousness, very simple. How can somebody come to the platform of Krishna consciousness? By coming in contact with devotee. So fortune means the devotee. When you get anything like that by yadrichaya, somehow, or by good fortune, it means devotee association. It means devotee association. And otherwise, bhakti only manifest by association of a devotee. Bhakti janam haite bhakta sange. Devotion only take birth in the association of devotee. This devotee association is the most important ang of the sadhana bhakti. Out of the 64 items, 5 are important. In the 5, the devotee association is more important. The all other 4 should be done in an association of devotee. So what are these 5 ang bhakti? Yes. Number 1, Panchanga Bhakti. Number 1, Nam, chanting holy name, hearing Bhagavatam, Sardhaya Archaya Pujanam, worshipping deity with faith and reverence, Mathura Vas, devotee association. So we are so fortunate, we have all 5 here. ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada has put this software in whole ISKCON. You have everyday Bhagavatam, you have everyday association of devotees, you everyday chant holy name, you have beautiful temple and deities, and wherever there are deities, there is a holy dham. And we are most fortunate because we are living in Vrindavan. So these 5 are naturally in our life every day. That is most important, these 5 Anga Bhakti. And in these 5 Anga, association of devotees is most important. Practice all these other 4 in association of devotee. So this is what Prabhupada said. Then someone will come to Krishna consciousness. Then success is guaranteed for him. If he comes to the stage of Krishna consciousness, then success is guaranteed for him. In one purpose, Srila Prabhupada said, even you don't feel, then Krishna will pull you. Once you come to Krishna consciousness, then you may not desire, but Krishna will pull you. He will drag you. Like just you enter into Krishna conscious, boundary, then Krishna will drag you. You may not try, but he will not leave you. So this is guaranteed. Then the success is guaranteed for him. He is going to be successful, there is no doubt about this. In the Vedic literature, the ways of action and reaction are prescribed to enable one to come to the stage of purification. What is this? What Srila Prabhupada is writing this? What is this line? I am reading again. In Vedic literature, the ways of action and reactions are prescribed to enable one to come to the stage of purification. Rules and regulation. Action and reaction is rules and regulation. So, like in our bhakti, there are 10 do's and there are 10 don'ts. Out of the 64 items, the first 10 are do, the next 10 are don't. Do and don't. Regulation and rules and regulation. Action and reaction means rules and regulation. So, like chant holy name is a rule, and follow 4 regular principles is a regulation. So this is what is in Vedic literature. That there are rules and regulation in Vedic literature. And if one follows, then he is purified. Then he is purified. The whole method is based on giving up lust, greed and anger. The whole, it means all the rules and regulation. All rules and regulation are there to get us free from these 3 enemies. By cultivating knowledge of this process, one can be elevated to the highest position of self-realization. This self-realization is perfected in devotional service. So by cultivating knowledge of this process means Vedic rules and regulation. One will come to elevated to the highest position of self-realization, and then elevated to the highest position of self, that perfected in devotional service. So what is different between the self-realization and devotional service? What is different between the two? What is self-realization and what is devotional service?
Devotional service is activity. Self-realization, knowing that I am not this body.
So self-realization is a knowledge that I am not body, I am soul. And devotional service is the activity of the soul. The soul's action. Good. Somebody else want to say something? So in a different language, when we have a knowledge that I am soul and Krishna is God, this only knowledge is someone. But the abhidheya is the devotional service, which means we act according to that knowledge and develop a relation with Krishna. Common sense, self-realization means knowing I am soul. Devotional service means I develop relation with God. I have a crude example many years back. It's called self-realization and God realization. Devotional service is like God realization. And the jnani self-realization means knowing the soul. So very crude example, many years back I was thinking, see, 4 or 5 year baby girl, 4 or 5 year, 6 year, and she can mix with anybody. Anybody can carry on a lap, kiss. What is the problem? No problem. The baby girl. But when she becomes 12, 13, she says, no, I am grown up. I should not mix with anybody. So now she is conscious that I am not baby. I am grown up. This is self-realization. When we are fools, we can eat anything, we can go anywhere, but when we come to the knowledge that we are soul, we are not this body, it means we are grown up and now a young man. It's like a young girl, but is young girl happy? By simply knowing that I am young girl, she is happy? Now she needs marriage. And when she serves the husband, then she will be happy. So now, after God realization means we now have relation with God and serve God. So this is a higher stage. Now she is happy. So soul is happy when it acts in a loving service with Supreme Lord. It's a crude example, but it's a common sense example. People will understand what is the difference between self-realization and God realization, or difference between self-realization and bhakti. Bhakti means service to the Lord and loving service to the Lord. Now, last few lines. In that devotional service, the liberation of the conditioned soul is guaranteed. If we practice devotional service, then is definitely liberated from the influence of three modes of material nature, of which this whole world is made up of. So he will go to the spiritual abode. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, there are institutions. Instead of 4 orders of life and 4 states of life, called caste system. Now Srila Prabhupada is saying there is a Varnashram system for that purpose. Now Prabhupada is making it easy. First you have to act according to your Varna and Ashram. Follow the rules and regulation of Varna and Ashram. So, there are different rules and regulations for different castes and divisions of society. And if a person is able to follow them, he will be automatically raised to the highest platform of spiritual realization. Then he can have liberation without doubt. Now Srila Prabhupada, when writing this, he is thinking of Vedic system is Varna Ashram system. So people should work according to their Varna and Ashram. And they should follow the rules and regulation of their Varna and Ashram. Then gradually they will elevate themselves and come above the bodily designation. So Srila Prabhupada again is starting from the basic. And basic is rules and regulation for human. And the rules and regulation for human is Varna Ashram. Varna Ashram is the rules and regulation for human beings. So there here we end, purport is over. Any question or comment? One has to be free from three these enemies and practice the rules and regulation of the human life to go to the to get the highest destination. This is the verse. Yes, Prabhu, Bhai Giribaji. Paramgati means? But the Godhead is, we can go to the Brahmajyoti is also Godhead. Going to the Vaikuntha is also Godhead. Going to the Golok is also Godhead. See, according to the practice, Paramgati is Jnani Paramgati is different, devotee the Paramgati is different, the Raganuka Paramgati is different, so Vaidika Paramgati is different. So Paramgati means, at least in a spiritual, they go beyond material realm and go into the spiritual world. But for Krishna consciousness, Paramgati is going back to God, it means Golok. But generally it also going Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is also Paramgati. Param Dharam is different than Paramgati. Param Dharma was Savai Pancham Paro Dharma. And second verse of Bhagavatam. What is that? Dharma Projit Kaitavo Nitamanas Matro Parama. Dharma Param. There is a Param Dharam here. So there is a, one Dharam is Karam Kand which leads us to heaven. It's not Param Dharma. The other Dharma is knowledge which leads to merge in the Brahm is not Param Dharma. Then there is a simple Vaidhi Bhakti by which one can go to the Vaikuntha and get full type of liberation is also not Param Dharma. The Param Dharma, the devotee, even Krishna says, I give them full type of liberation, they don't accept. So Param Dharma is actually, Narad says Param Dharma is love of God. And how? Which example? Gopis' love for Krishna is a Param Dharma. Param Dharma is love of the gopis for Krishna. That is Param Dharma. Param Dham is different than Param Dharma. So, anyway, simply we read Bhagavad Gita, listen Bhagavad Gita every day. This will elevate us. Hare Krishna. Anybody else has a question or comment? Huh? Yam nem, yam and nem.
So we generally use like 4 negative things star name, but that is not a name, that is jam. Not means jam.
Yam means if you don't follow, you will go to the Yamraj. Yes, this is my definition.
Yes.
Yam means if you don't follow, go to the Yamraj. And nem means if you follow, then you will go to Narayan.
To follow means name and not to do means jam. So we accept star name, but that star means jam.
They are yam. They are regulation. They are regulation. Chanting holy name is rule, and following for the regulation. They are yam. What is your question, Prabhu? एक और है वो पीछे.
My question is actually we know Krishna causes the best gift in our life, but when we go to amongst outside or something, then just like market or friends something, so our causes is sometimes changed. Like, oh, my friends we have, so we this should also we have something, so we have to go. So that's time how make the mind steady, like focus every time.
What you are asking is that when we are in association of devotees, we are practicing Krishna consciousness, but we go in a worldly atmosphere, then our Krishna consciousness becomes a little diluted.
Yes.
And we are not very much fixed up with that. So this is the story of the monkey and crocodile. The story Prabhupada, for this Prabhupada told the story of monkey and crocodile. Everybody know this story? Everybody know this story. Keep your heart with devotees and Krishna consciousness, and don't give heart to anybody else except Krishna. Then nobody can allure you, because you don't have heart with you. It's like Gopi said, we don't have a mind. How can we meditate? We don't listen to you because we don't have that box with us. So you go to the market, anywhere, you keep your heart with Radha Krishna. Very simple. Keep your heart with devotion at temple, then go out. Hare Krishna. What is your question?
This is a general question.
Huh?
This is general question. General question. That is devotee means to follow the Shastra.
Devotees?
Devotee means that is the who follow the Shastra. Shastra means instruction of the Shastra. When you explain, devotee means like those who follow the instruction of Shastra. And devotee
Yes.
But in general, like the person who is following other faith, he can say that I am following.
That is the 17th chapter. People don't know scripture, but they have a faith. That's the first question of the 17th chapter. They don't follow scripture, but they have a strong faith. What is their destination? This is a question of 17th chapter. And then according to the faith, whether faith is goodness or passion or ignorance, that is their destination. This is the 17th chapter. It starts by this question. People don't follow rules and regulations of scripture, but they have a faith. What is their destination? That,
They have different faith. Like Christians say, I follow the Bible. Muslims can say, I follow the Quran. Sikh can say that I follow the Guru Granth Sahib.
yes.
So how do you categorize them?
That's Srila Prabhupada said, if you follow your scripture properly, then you are rightly situated. It may be that you may be following the rules and regulation of 5th class or 10th class, but in that class you are perfect, that's okay.
So their destination will be
According to their rules and regulation, because you know the destination of those who follow the Quran or Bible is heaven. That is their destination. So they do pious activities and go to the heaven, that's okay. No problem, we are happy. They go to the heaven, come back and then again try to learn something.
So will they will be given another chance to go ahead or?
Definitely they will come back according to the Bhagavad Gita, but they think we will always be in heaven, so let them be in that paradise for what is called that paradise. No, scripture, all the scripture are bona fide according to the time, place and circumstances. Prabhupada writes, you follow whichever scripture is there, you follow that and you will get perfection in that scripture. Yes. Ultimately, if you develop love of God, then you have a perfection. Any scripture ultimately, if it teaches you love of God, then it is perfection. Generally, it says Muslim scripture is namaskar pradhan. Namaz means namaskar, always going down. Christian scripture is pratna, prayer oriented, always offer prayers. So they are also anga bhakti. There is one person here in Vrindavan, he has done PhD. In all religions there is devotion. He has done PhD in Brad Bhagavatamritam. Then he has done D.Lit after PhD, that all religions have devotion. There is devotion in all religions. If they practice that, then they will get a good destination also. So he has a whole thesis that all religion has devotion. Maybe small portion, but there is devotion. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, if there is no devotion, then no process will give result. So there must be some devotion. Without that, they will not get any result. Even they will not get heaven if there is no devotion. So some devotion has to be added to all process for getting result. I have not read his D.Lit thesis. I don't know if whether he is alive. I have to go and see. He is living in Vrindavan. He has a vow that I will never go out of Vrindavan. For last 50 years he is. And he did a PhD and D.Lit on Brad Bhagavatamritam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.